Mexico tariffs, big news back home. Some Senate Republicans are a little worried about this, especially the economic effects. What must Mexico do? What can they do to stem this massive tide, 140,000 people in May?
When you're the piggy bank that everybody steals and robs from, and they deceive you, and like they've been doing for 25 years, tariffs are a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful word if you know how to use them properly. Republicans should love what I'm doing, because I view tariffs in two phases. Number one, it's great to negotiate with, because people don't want to be tariffed for coming into the United States. They don't want that. And number two, frankly, if they go in, you make a fortune, because all the companies are going to move back into the country.
But isn't this Congress's fault for not
Yes.
passing asylum reform? So why does it seem like Mexico's bearing the brunt?
Because it's their fault also, because they're letting millions of people walk up through their country, and they shouldn't let anybody walk up through their country. I mean, frankly, we shouldn't even have to have Border Patrol. Border Patrol's doing incredibly. You know, they apprehended over 100,000 people last. Do you know what that is?
140,000 in May.
Well, and what they're doing is they're taking and by the way, that's not even close to a record, because if you go back 13, 14 years ago, it was crazy numbers. But I don't want this. I want people to come in legally. We want the people that we want, and I want a merit-based system. But we shouldn't have anybody. They shouldn't be able to walk through Mexico. And now I've told Mexico, if you don't stop this onslaught, this invasion, people get angry when I use the word invasion. People like Nancy Pelosi, that honestly, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. I watch her. She was saying, we have to protect Mexico. We have to take care of Mexico. Look, I'm dealing with Mexico right now. They send in $500 billion worth of drugs. They kill 100,000 people. They ruin 1 million families every year. If you look at that, that's really an invasion without the guns.
Are you worried about how this might affect the USMCA, another historic trade renegotiation?
I'm not worried about it, because they need us. We don't need them. They need us. They stole 32% of our car business with NAFTA, the stupidest deal, one of the truly stupid deals of our time. They stole 32,000. I mean, they have 32% of our car business.
It's an important ally of the United States. It's one of our most important trading. Well, it's one of our most important trading partners.
Okay, fine, and yet they send in $500 billion worth of drugs. We will never do that kind of trade. They send in drugs, illegal drugs, $500 billion. 100,000 people are killed, dead every year from what comes through our southern border. They shouldn't be allowing people to come through their country from Honduras and Guatemala, El Salvador. Excuse me, what? They walk right through our country.